Hello everybody, this is Mike, aka Longbox Diver, with another video for you on comics. This would be part 2 of my Elite Comics 29th anniversary comic book sale haul. And one of the main things that I was looking for, I've really gotten into First Comics, and so I was looking for a lot of First stuff. If you haven't seen my whole video, the first one from this sale, a friend of mine, Kirby Crackle, and I went to this, and one of the deals that they were doing, they had 75,000 comics that were dollar bin comics, but they also had a deal if you wanted to buy in bulk, so to speak. You could get a long box, and for $100 they would let you fill the long box. And so, you know, we did that, and splitting up the long box, I did a little bit more than my fair share of the long box. So my part of the long box was $60, and I came home with 171 comics. So I spent a little over, the comics I'm showing today, I spent a little over 30 cents an issue for the comics. And so some of the stuff that I was looking for, now of course in a situation like this, you kind of just go with what you could find. You know, you may have some ideas of what you're looking for, but you know, you're just gonna kind of take what you can find, what you can get. You know, there's not, they just might not have exactly what you're looking for. And so some of the stuff that I've been reading lately from First is American Flag, and another issue series that I liked a lot was Jon Sable. So those were like kind of the two big ones that I was looking for. And then kind of secondly after that was Nexus, which I've read bits and pieces of, and just, I think the covers to those are amazing. The artwork of Steve Rude is just, I think his stuff is really great. I really like his artwork. So anyway, I'm going to start this video with the American Flag comics that I found, which I did not find too many. I think I got 5 or 6, and these are the ones that I was able to find at the sale. So first off is American Flag number 6. Nice cover, Howard Chaykin. And we jump to American Flag 13, which this is a Chaykin cover. Still Chaykin doing it. And then it jumps down to issue number 20, which I think this is a great cover. I think this might still be Chaykin, but then the later stuff that I found, this is the, let's see, issues 36 and 37, yeah. And I believe this is a new artist that's taken over at this point. I mean, still very interesting, still, you know, very curious to read this and get this far into it. But I believe this artist taken over at this point is, let me see if I can find a name. I know I saw one before. Let me look at this one. Well, anyway, not very exciting video. Sorry, I'm having trouble finding the name of who took over, but it's a different creative team at this point with these. So those are the American Flags that I could find. I was hoping to find a bunch, but I really only ended up, was able to find 5. But it's still a good start. A good start in getting that together. And then Jon Sable. Like I said, this is a series that I've really enjoyed. There's a 53 issue run of the first Jon Sable Freelance, and I already have about 37 issues of the 53 issue run. So this was more finding the ones that I didn't already have, and so I got Jon Sable 12 here, and this is Mike Grell. Written and drawn by Mike Grell, and then issue number 14. So I filled 2 holes in that series, and pretty early on ones too. So I found a lot more, but they were actually issues that I already had. So I could have come home with probably at least a dozen Jon Sable Freelance, but I was only grabbing the ones I didn't already own. So that was what I got from the issues that I was really digging for. Some other stuff that I grabbed from first is I came across several issues of E-Man. This is a character that originally started with Charlton Comics. It's a humorous character. So it had a short run with Charlton, and then about 8 years later, it was picked up by First and had, I don't know, a fairly decent run. Like, I think it lasted about 3 years, like 2.5, 3 years. And E-Man is the story of this sentient, ball of energy that, is passing through the universe and learning about life, and came to Earth and met a Katarina, I believe is her name. She's a exotic dancer, a graduate student. And anyway, the sentient energy has the ability to mimic life. It can change its shape and form to what it wants, and it recreates himself as E-Man, as you can see here in this. And then I guess later on in the comics, or pretty early on, the woman that he runs into and meets on Earth actually becomes superpowered also, and she becomes Novocaine. So anyway, just a very humorous take on the superhero genre. So I'm looking forward to digging into these and just seeing what it's like. So, and as you can, I don't know if you can tell, but his on his chest is E equals MC squared. So these were the issues of E-Man that I came across. Just a few of those. The Slug That Ate Barrentown. So these should be fun. I think I'm going to enjoy reading these. Definitely worth the pickup. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this one. Another one that I picked up was kind of an unusual story on this book. This is called Warp. And this is a comic book that is based off of a science fiction play called Warp. First Comics is a comic book company that's based out of Chicago. And Warp was a science fiction play, stage play, that was made at the Organic Theater in Chicago. And then it actually had a brief Broadway run after its initial run in Chicago. And it had, I guess did well enough that they decided they could do a comic book spin-off of it. And First Comics did a 19-issue run of Warp. And I actually almost have I've gone from never even heard of this comic book to having almost the complete run. I think I found every issue of Warp except I think I'm 3 short of the full run of Warp. So that's issue 2. Issue 3. I think the artwork in this is really good. Issue 4. Jumps to issue 6. I'm missing 1 and 5 so far. I think that's a pretty strong cover. Seven. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. That's a nice cover too. 13. 14. 15. 16. Oh, that's a neat cover. I like that reversed out. Here, let's look at a little bit of the inside. Don't want to give away too much, but gives you a little bit of an idea of the inside artwork here. So I'm looking forward to digging into this. Like I said, at this point, I don't really know anything about it, but I'm a sucker for sci-fi comics, so I'm definitely interested in seeing what's going on here. I think there's some very interesting action scenes going on with the ships. So, but yeah. $18. And the final battle, 19. So yeah, so I almost pulled off the entire run of Warp in just one sale. I'm hoping that I can pick up the 3 that I'm missing. It might have only been 2. I think I might only be missing 1 and 5. And I'll have the full run, and that'll be a fun read. So that was Warp. Let's see. I have some odds and ends of some other first comics that I grabbed. Another issue of Dynamo Joe to add to my collection. Little manga, you know, giant robot. I don't know if they're necessarily fighting kaiju, but you know, kind of in that vein. So that'll be interesting to dig into. That's my only Dynamo Joe. Came across another Whisper Ninja comic, 80s Ninja comic. This is a great, I would say, very painterly cover. I really like that, you know, the purples with the light blue and the reds. I think this is really, really a strong cover for Whisper. And then for your Tim Truman fans, I found a couple issues of Grimjack. So that'll be fun to dig into that. So I really enjoyed his series Scout, which I believe was done in Eclipse. I haven't read all of Scout, but I had a run of Scout, about a 6-issue arc that I really liked. And so this is his Grimjack character. Found issues 4 and 5 of that. So some Tim Truman goodness. I don't know anything about this one. Found a beat up copy of Mars, issue number 6. This is a much looser style than what I've seen in the other first comics. So, not sure what to make of that one. Another first comic, Star Slayer, issue number 20 of that. More sci-fi, so I'll be digging into that, seeing what I can find out about it. Now to get into actually the run that I found the most of is Nexus. I have a massive, I couldn't even tell you the number of Nexus issues that I grabbed, but we'll start off with the first 4 here, which I've already read these. This is technically put out by Capital Comics. It started out with Capital, and then it was went over to First, and the bulk of the run of Nexus was done at First. So this is the first 4 issues, which, like I said, was a Capital. Those Steve Rude painted covers are really amazing. It's pretty funny, the flying heads. You even got like kind of this goofy frog creature head zipping around. You get into the story of it, and it gets very dark. But it's kind of funny to have that kind of play off of darkness and happiness or silliness. But I don't want to get too much into the details of the story, but give you a little bit of the insight here inside. The artwork in the inside is not painterly. It's a lot more, your normal, or I shouldn't say normal. It's really good. And I'm really amazed also by the colorist. This colorist is George Freeman on this first one. And there was another one later on called his less, I want to say like Dorchild or something like that. But I just think the coloring in this book, not afraid to get bright and detailed and just things that just pop. We got pinks and magentas going on in there, yellows and greens, different colors, greens, just very bright, very vibrant color palette, and just going along with it, and just real playful to go with all the great character designs. You see some of those floating heads in there with the alien, and then more aliens down here. It's just a lot of fun to read and a lot of fun to go through. I really enjoyed these first 4. So I'm gonna have to find more of Nexus, because unfortunately for me, after these first 4, they jump much further back into the deeper into the series. So there's Nexus 2, another great cover. Nexus 3. I was like, look at the color on that. This is really nice. And Nexus 4. So like I said, I've already read these. I couldn't wait. And then, but after that, and I have Nexus in my collection before these pickups, so it's not quite as big a jump in my collection. But as far as what I was able to find, it jumps up to like from number 4. The next one I was able to find is Nexus number 23, sorry. And then from there it jumps up to 37. So most of what I was able to find with Nexus is later stuff. number 38. Then it jumps up to 46. And just, yeah, I'll just sit on this cover for a bit. I mean, look at all the action that's going on in there. Everything that's happening. You got the water spray coming in from the bottom, and the fight scene of the two main characters up front, and then I don't know what the deal with the tennis racket is. Then you have like secondary characters, and further back is more characters and details of, you know, things in the boat. Another great painted cover, number 48. Number 49, this is a crossover issue with Badger. Looks like they more go to Badger's art style for this one. '51. '52. Looks like having fun with some cartooning in that. '54. '57. '58. Let's move these off. Like I said, found a lot of Nexus. 59. 60. 61. This isn't a painterly cover, but I think this is a really solid cover too. 62. 64. 66. I was talking with someone online, Comic Rack, I believe. He was asking about bags and boards. A lot of what I got was in really good shape. Some stuff was bagged and boarded. Some things were just bagged, but a lot of stuff was just loose in the boxes. And like I said, I think this is, that's another nice cover. This was basically a warehouse sale for Elite Comics Warehouse. So you'd be digging in these boxes and you might go through like 2 boxes where you don't find anything that you like. And then you'll hit another box and you might just come across, like a lot of these were consecutive. I think I found these all in the same box, where it was like 66 through 71, 72, 74, and then it jumps up to 80. But yeah, like these last ones, I think I found a bunch of these all in the same box. Whereas like, I think they bought a collection and, you know, pulled the keys out and just left the rest. So, you know, like a run of Nexus, this isn't like a real high demand. It's a book I'd be interested in, but a lot of people have probably never even heard of. So, you know, you might go through several boxes and not find anything you like, and then hit a box that you just find like maybe 16 books in a row, like just a big knot of Nexus, which is great. So that's all the Nexus that I found. So like I said, that's probably the biggest run of anything that I picked up, you know, of one character. I would say safe to say that it was Nexus. So that was fun getting, you know, being able to grab all those. I guess I'll put these in. Another one, and like I said, I went to this with a buddy of mine, Kirby Crackle, And he put me on to, he's been collecting this character for a while. And then he's been with several different comic book publishers. It's another Mike Baron title, and that's Badger. And he finished his whole run. I think it was 71 issues between all the different comic book publishers, and he has all of them. So it was I kind of felt like it was fair game. I could grab up all the Badger I wanted, and I didn't have to worry about, grabbing anything that he was looking for. So these are the Badger issues that I was able to snag. So as I was saying, this at the sale, I went hard on First. Any First comics that I didn't have, I grabbed. So this is another one where, it's another humorous take on the superhero genre, which I also like that, just kind of having a little bit of fun. Get these out of the way. Make sure I'm not messing with the focus on my camera, letting the stack get too high. So more Badger coming up. Like, this is another part where I think I got a pretty solid run. 39, 40. I think I'm gonna have a good time seeing this fight between Badger and this man dressed up like a nun. 41. Getting into some werewolf action there. More men dressed up like nuns, along with commandos. And this looks like an issue that has a guest artist on it, Tim Vigil. If you're a fan of Faust, I think you might get a kick out of this one. So that covers basically this episode. This issue video is pretty much all of my first comics that I pulled at Elite's 29th annual anniversary comic sale. So thank you guys for joining me and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, keep on reading. Thank you. Bye.